think that growers should never be forgotten as we talk about kind of innovation in agriculture. So very excited to welcome up Larry Schumacher. He is a farmer out of Fullerton, North Dakota. He runs Larry's Hydro Lettuce, which utilizes hydroponic technology to grow fresh and tasty lettuce. So Larry, the floor is yours. I hear you're a huge public speaker. You want to spend hours up here talking, so go ahead.
Kind of impressive to be in a room with so much smart people. Yeah, I was very impressed or thankful for Great Farms reaching out to me. A little bit of history about my humble self. Hi, Nancy. Born and raised on the farm. I've been playing in the dirt, lifelong gardener. When winter comes, as we all know, does happen, I thought, well, why can't we raise produce here in North Dakota? Not a rocket scientist. So about 10 years ago, 2010, I got involved with NDSU Extension. Got involved with Dr. Shuan Lee up here at NDSU, and the ball started kind of to roll. And we did a lot of research, many, many miles. And then it got down to the nitty-gritty, the old saying, build it, they will come. What a process that was. But I made it happen. Currently, I got capabilities of doing over 4,000 plants of lettuce. I'm doing bok choy and kale. I'm trying my very best to do spinach, but that's another story. But yeah, it's been a uphill battle, to say the least. Many, many roadblocks. I can't begin to tell you the naysayers that I've dealt with, and I don't like that word no. That just makes me want to push farther. Yeah, it's been quite the challenge. But I see potential. The doors are starting to open tremendously for me, market-wise. Of course, there's always room for improvement. But there's a big push for locally grown, fresh produce on a year-round basis. I don't see why it can't be done. I think with the caliber of people in here, we can make this happen. This system's very intriguing to me because I currently, Jeff and I were talking, I got a lot of wasted space because of my grow channels that I have. They're about this high off the floor, so there's space underneath and space above. They're just space. So we could utilize something of that nature. There are a lot of, for lack of a better term, empty buildings that a system like this could be retrofitted, and sky is the limit, if you will. There's a big push for vertical farming. This is one step, major step towards that. And I just think with keep the ball rolling, this will make this happen. So if there's any questions.
Awesome. You went about an hour shorter than I thought you were going to. I thought for sure.
Happy hour yet?
Yeah, right? The bar's coming. It'll be here soon. Actually, Larry's niece is on our team, so she told us all the backstories about how
yeah.
so that's okay. So anyway, you know, often the biggest question when it comes to farmers and innovation and ag technology is the ROI. Talk about kind of the upfront cost of this, how long it took to turn a profit, if you've turned a profit with your operation.
You sure it isn't happy hour yet? Yeah. The upfront cost in my little operation, currently I'm raising my lettuce in metal buildings. I have artificial light, no sun whatsoever. My goal was to do a controlled environment. I live out in the country, so I don't want no bugs. I don't want the neighbor's chemical drift, per se, to kill my crop. Been there, done that. It does happen. So, and that's been a struggle, as Jeff and I had talked about. To do what I'm doing, there is a price. My pumps are running 24/7. The utility bills really liking me. I don't like them so much. The upfront cost, I got over $500,000 stuck in my stuff. And you don't pay for that overnight. It's been a struggle. But all the more reason to keep pushing. There has to be an outlet. We have to get our heads together, figure out a distribution system. I get a fair amount of emails from people from different states. Do you ship? I've been there, done that. It costs an arm and a leg to put my produce in the mail, to go 200 miles, it's 40, 50 bucks. Consumers, I'm a consumer, we all are. It's just not happening. But I think we need to work on that. There has to be a way to do it. But yeah, it's not cheap.
But for sure. Well, what do you think? So obviously you believe in this. You believe that this should be an adoption or a practice that other farmers should be exploring. What do you think is it going to take to get other farmers and how can to adopt this, and how can we kind of accelerate this industry up here?
That's a good question. There has to be people like myself. I mean, I'm not the only producer doing this in North Dakota. From southeastern part of the state, 2 hours away from Fargo. It's a challenge, and for me, I get a lot of feedback from people. Well, I think it's great what you're doing. We need more people like you. Well, they're right. But to have the fortitude, obviously, to keep it going, a lot of people just, screw it, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. I've beat my head against the wall umpteen times, and I just, no. Mm-hmm. There's always a way. You just gotta don't give up. And a lot of people have, it gets to a point where you just want to throw up your hands and say, I'm done. And then just a small percentage of us, people like myself, don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's, to find them people, I look at myself as a model, I guess, if you will. Not that way. Yeah, it takes people like myself, and if I can prove it can be done, well, then someone else can follow my footsteps, if you will.
It sounds like a very farmer humble mentality. So kudos to you. Maybe the last question I have, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to raise your hand, is talk about the weather challenges. You know, especially, I can't imagine your heating costs right now.
Yeah. Well, in a controlled environment, I would like to maintain a 70-degree temperature in my metal buildings. Well, I got propane for furnaces, and you have to move the air, obviously, for these plants to grow. So that's been a challenge this winter when it's obviously cold outside. With Mother Nature, we just went through here Monday, Tuesday, a so-called 2-day blizzard. We had over 16 inches down there, minus 50 below wind chills. I got drifts as hard as rocks down there. Had some frozen water issues. It's tough in the wintertime, but I'm not giving up.
Well, good for you, Larry. So, well, let's hear it up for you and your mentality of moving forward. So we appreciate it.
Thank you.